Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of Biology with Dr. Ronald Nathaniel. I hope you're all doing well. If you're watching for the first time, thank you for joining us. If you have been watching my videos, welcome back. Thank you for watching. In today's video, we're going to learn about plant and animal cells and their differences. As always, I am Dr. Ron, your friendly neighborhood zoologist. This is Biology with Dr. Ronald Nathaniel. Let's get right into it. In the world of biology, the cell is the fundamental unit of all forms of life. Cells are the building blocks of all living things. All life processes and activities are carried out by cells. In any given ecosystem, plants play the role of producers, but animals play the role of consumers. Both plant and animal cells share many similarities since they are both eukaryotes. This means they both have membrane-bound organelles. Each are primarily classified based on their function. Each cell organelle has a particular function to perform. Cell structure and organelles vary in both plants and animals. The difference is in their cellular composition. This is the key reason behind the difference in plant and animal cells. Some of the cell organelles are present both in plant and animal cells. However, their unique structural differences are what differentiate them. Kingdom Plantae majorly comprises of multicellular eukaryotes that are autotrophic by nature. The organelles in plant cells such as the chloroplast, cell wall, vacuole helps in differentiating them from animal cells. While there is a huge amount of plant species that have not been discovered yet, there is an estimated 390,000 to 400,000 species of plants available on Earth. Generally, plant sizes vary from 10 to 100 micrometers in size. Plant cells are responsible for performing the function of photosynthesis. As a result, we refer to green plants as autotrophs because of the presence of chlorophyll and chloroplast in their cells. The cell wall is made up of cellulose and it offers support and rigidity to the cell. The cell wall performs many essential functions. For example, they provide shape to form the tissue and organs of the plant. They play an important role in intercellular communication between plant and microbe interactions. The cell wall is flexible during growth and has small pores called plasmodesmata that allows them to exchange nutrients and hormones between cells. Many types of plants contain a large central vacuole. This is a water-filled volume enclosed by a membrane called the tonoplast. It maintains the cell's turgor, controls the movement of molecules between the cytosol and sap. It stores useful materials such as phosphorus and nitrogen and digests waste proteins and organelles. Turgor pressure is the force within the cell that pushes the plasma membrane against the cell wall. Turgor pressure within the cells is regulated by osmosis and also causes the cell to expand during growth. Plant cells contain plastids, most notably chloroplasts, which contain green-colored pigment called chlorophyll. It converts the energy of sunlight into chemical energy that the plant uses to make its own food from water and carbon dioxide. This process is known as photosynthesis. Plant cells are the fundamental building blocks of plant life. They perform all processes required for the plant's survival. Some examples of plant specialized cells are collenchyma cells. These are made up of elongated living cells with irregular, main, thick walls. They can arrange, shape, and grow in the same way as plants do. A significant trait of collenchyma cells is that they are exceedingly plastic. This means they can stretch and respond to greater organ growth. The next type of specialized plant cells are the sclerenchyma cells. These cells are a lot stiffer. They are the primary sustaining cells in plant regions that have stopped developing. Mature sclerenchyma cells are often dead cells with thickened secondary walls. They also have a high cellulose content that ranges from about 60 to 80%. Sclerenchyma cells serve the purpose of giving structural support to the plant. The next type of specialized plant cells are called parenchyma cells. They are simple, permanent ground tissues that make up the majority of plant tissues, such as the soft component of leaves, fruit pulp, and other plant organs. These are known as the parenchyma. They are present in leaves and perform photosynthesis, cellular respiration, and metabolic processes. They also store chemicals such as carbohydrates and proteins that aid in the plant's healing. The next example are called xylem cells. These tissues aid in the transfer of dissolved chemicals and water throughout the plant. Tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers are examples of xylem components. Xylem transports water and dissolved minerals from the root to the leaves of the plant. The last example of specialized plant cells are the phloem cells. They deliver nutrients produced by photosynthesis to all areas of the plant. Sugars and amino acids dissolved in water are transported by the phloem. The phloem transports nourishment from the leaves to the roots. Kingdom Animalia takes up 3/4 part of all species on planet Earth. The human body alone is made up of around 30 trillion cells, and their sizes vary from 2 to 30 micrometers in diameter. Animal cells do not consist of a cell wall and chloroplast, and this mainly differentiates them from plant cells. Another primary distinction between plants and animal cells is that animal cells are not able to produce their own food. The nucleus, cell membrane, and cytoplasm are the three primary components of most animal cells. All of these cells work together in harmony to help the organism survive. The collection of comparable tissues will form various organs of the body, such as the heart, lungs, and so on. These organs will collaborate to make organ systems, such as the neurological system, digestive system, circulatory system, and so on. Let's look at a few examples of specialized animal cells. The first one is skin cells. These cells can be found in the dermal and epidermal layers of the skin. These cells are effective at preventing water loss and providing a barrier to the external environment. The next example are bone cells. Bone cells are responsible for the formation of an animal's skeleton and bones. Bone cells communicate with one another to maintain balance, ultimately to control bone structure and function. They also assist with body movement. Muscle cells aid in the protection of the body's delicate organs. They can help to organize the movement of your limbs and tissues when they are clustered together. Blood cells serve as the body's transporters, carrying hormones and nutrients. They transport oxygen throughout the body via the bloodstream. Nerve cells. These are specialized cells that are programmed to transmit impulses or information. Neurons, also known as nerve cells, are brain cells that send and receive messages. The cell body, which includes the nucleus, a primary branching fiber called the axon, and numerous smaller branching fibers comprise each nerve cell. As we have seen, plant and animal cells have a lot of differences as well as similarities. They both can be differentiated on the basis of the presence of organelles in them. However, both plants and animal cells have eukaryotic cells. Their structures are quite similar. Each eukaryotic cell is made up of a plasma membrane, a nucleus, cytoplasm, ribosomes, and mitochondria. Nonetheless, there are quite a lot of differences between plant and animal cells. The most distinguishing components between them are vacuoles and chloroplasts. Plant cells have a cell wall in addition to a cell membrane, whereas animal cells only have a cell membrane. Let's compare the differences between plants and animal cells. When we look at cell shape, plant cells are more square or rectangular in shape. However, animal cells are irregular or sometimes round shaped. Plant cells have a cell wall. However, animal cells only have a cell membrane. They do not have a cell wall. Both plant and animal cells have a cell membrane. Both plant and animal cells have an endoplasmic reticulum. The nucleus is present in both plant and animal cells. The nucleus is found in the center of the cell. Plant cells do not have lysosomes, but animal cells do. The Golgi apparatus is present in both plant and animal cells. Both plant and animal cells have cytoplasm. They both have ribosomes. However, plastids are only present in plant cells. Animal cells do not have them. Vacuoles are another key factor that differentiates plants and animal cells. Plant cells have a large, single, centrally positioned vacuole. However, animal cells have very tiny vacuoles. Plant cells do not have cilia, but animal cells have them in most of their cells. Mitochondria are present but few in number in plant cells, but animal cells have more amount of mitochondria. And finally, the mode of nutrition. Plants are primarily autotrophic, which means they can produce their own food through the process of photosynthesis. However, animal cells are heterotrophic in nature. They cannot produce their own food and they rely on other organisms for their food. These are the primary differences between plants and animal cells. I hope you found this lesson useful, boys and girls. If you did, please consider subscribing because we're trying to build a community of people who love biology here. That's it for today, boys and girls. I'll see you all in the next video.